Good morning, everybody. Jim Feist and Hank Goldberg here in Las Vegas. Hank, tomorrow is the real beginning of the preseason. I'm ready. Are you? I know you are. Why am I even asking?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's some good games tomorrow. I guess the Jets and the Giants will be interesting. It'll be Gase's first game with the Jets. You're not going to see a lot of regulars at all. Very few of them are going to play in any of these games. So you'll be looking at a bunch of guys who are probably going to be cut.
Oh, definitely. I mean, these rosters are 90, 100 people. We know eventually they've got to get down to 53, I think. A lot of guys are going to be cut. You know, I'll bring up this one game. Indianapolis has gone from a pick'em to a 2.5-point favorite. I think that's, well, first of all, Indianapolis might show more interest, and Buffalo's offensive line is absolutely decimated. They're actually signing people just to fill in positions. So that might be a Indianapolis Colt under game.
I don't think I like that game. Buffalo is going to be working their quarterbacks, and the coach up there, he likes to play to win early, and of course, Luck is not playing at all. They've had some shortages of regulars who are in practice, so I'm staying away from that game.
What do you think of the line movement on the Cleveland to Washington situation? Cleveland opened 1, and now they're a 2-point dog.
I don't know. Washington announced their quarterback rotation. I guess that has something to do with it.
Yeah, they do have 3 guys that actually two guys that actually have a lot of experience, and the one rookie. So that you're right about that. A lot of money is shown up for Miami because I believe that Atlanta just doesn't. Quinn has not won a game in like 11 tries in the preseason. So there's been some money.
Atlanta has now lost 12 straight preseason games.
That would explain it. What do you think about the Philadelphia-Tennessee game?
I think Tennessee's a decent play. If Tannehill is working into the lineup for him as the other quarterback, and Tennessee had a good draft. They've got some good guys, good young players, and they're getting, I think, 3.5 points.
They are. Yes, they are.
I like that game.
Baltimore and Jacksonville, a lot of money is not, I don't know, a lot of money. In preseason, there's not a lot of money out there, but there's been movement on the Baltimore Ravens over Jacksonville.
Baltimore, he has a long winning streak in preseason games, particularly the first week. Well, that would explain that. There's a trend there.
Yeah. And a lot of that's what they bet. They bet the trends, and if they can get any information on the coaches and what their intentions are, they do that.
I guess there was one game that went to 5 or 5.5.
It's the Ravens. The Ravens at a couple books are 5, and it actually looks like it's going to 5.5. You're right. That's the Ravens.
Yeah, it's a lot of points
in a preseason game where the total is 31 or 32. That is a lot of points. Yeah. Yeah, we got Friday games. We got Tampa at Pittsburgh. We got Minnesota at New Orleans. And then we got a couple we got 3 on Saturday as well. So it's going to be, it's good to have football back. Baseball is, boy, I tell you, the Boston Red Sox, what have they lost? 9 out of the last 10 games?
Yeah. They lost 8 straight, and then they won 1, and then they lost their next game. They really tossed it in, I think. And meanwhile, the Yankees keep winning. They won again, and they've been actually winning, scoring a lot of runs. So they've been a pretty good play. Greinke won his first start for Houston, although he didn't pitch that well. I think he gave up 5 or 6 runs, but they still won for him. He must think he's gone to heaven, because he would lose those games in Arizona.
That's right.
So, but Houston is strong. Dodgers won again last night. They're just, as they move on, Minnesota, their pitcher was on a hot streak, came up cold last night, and they left him in there to give up 9 runs.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense to me. I mean, he had been red hot. Going back to this Arizona that you mentioned, Zach Gallen starts for them tonight. He is the guy that took the spot that Greinke vacated when he got traded. I don't understand. I mean, this is off subject a little bit, but what is going on with Miami? They give up. Why would they give up on a kid like this who had nothing but great success with them and in the minors? Why? What are they? What is Derek Jeter doing down there, getting rid of all these players?
He's building up a farm system. He's got all young players. Excuse me, and they're I was talking to a friend of mine down there. He told me they're not drawing 3,000 people a game.
Whoa!
And they hate Jeter.
Yeah, I guess they would.
Yeah, but meanwhile, he's got some good young pitching that's developing there, but the Mets are killing them, and the Mets are the hottest team since the All-Star game. The Mets are the hottest team in baseball, and they're only 2 games out of the wild card right now.
They definitely could make it. It's going to be tough. I mean, they're only 58 and 56 on the season.
I think they went to 500, didn't they?
They're over 500. They're 2 games over 500 now.
Yeah.
They absolutely smoking. I mean, they're going to have to keep that run going because they are a little bit behind, but they could right now they're money. They definitely are money. Absolutely. We've got some good games going on. I mean, Washington is playing well. I don't particularly love their pitcher today. Joe Ross has not been anything special. Sorry, Hank. Got a little interruption there. Hold on. We'll get rid of this. Okay. We're still going. Phone calls in the middle of podcasting is not a good thing. Anyway, Atlanta and Minnesota, that's a good game. Starts at 10 o'clock today. Fried against Perez. I like Atlanta in that spot. Perez has been like they've been beating him around. He's not pitched very well. And Seattle's playing today against San Diego. They're a pretty good underdog against Lucchesi. Seattle's been a home run machine. I mean, they just score runs all the time, but they don't win. I mean, they're 21 games under 500, and they started the season out super hot. So they're really falling on hard times.
Yeah, the hot teams right now are the Yankees and Houston, and the Cubs are. St. Louis has been up and down. They've had trouble with the Dodgers, and Cubs have been doing decently. The Cubs in Cleveland are teams that have been playing pretty well. There's no big surprises right now, and there are certain teams that have been scoring enough runs so that you can at least bet on them without having to give up the house.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, you mentioned Houston. I mean, Cole has been absolutely on fire. They're playing Colorado today, who's not been good. How do you play a team like Houston at minus? I mean, you're almost dealing with 400 on this thing. Laying 400. You got to be looking at run lines or team run lines, or you can't be. I mean, logically, you can't be laying almost 4-1 on these games.
No, some guys would like to, play the first 5 innings if they're going to play those teams.
Right.
But Houston's become almost unplayable now. Although the other day Verlander, I guess, pitched, and he was $1.90.
Yeah, it's pretty. I had a story. I don't remember the details on this, but I do remember the numbers. Somebody bet $105,000 on a team the other day, and if he wins the bet, he's going to win $2,000. I mean, to me, that's moronic. Anything. How can you risk 51 times your potential win? It's just. I think we need to open a school on how to bet.
I thought we were doing that.
Well, yeah, sort of. But when they're left on their own, they don't do very well. Crazy.
I was talking to the guy at one of the services, and he told me that the guy who was on the quiz show, who did so well.
Yes, I remember him. On Jeopardy. He was on Jeopardy. James Holzberg or something like that?
Whatever his name is, had been a very smart player and had done very well.
That is the truth. He's not a big player. He's a strategic player, and the books that know him, which was not known everywhere until that show. The books that do know him say he's actually very intelligent and he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He was playing with a limited bankroll at the time. Now, of course, he has a lot more money. So I don't know if he'll continue with his sports or not, because he's got some job offers. A friend of mine played a tag team with him in the World Series of Poker, where they had that one event where you play like tag team. And he was in there with him. And I guess he's a pretty good poker player as well.
Well, I guess he made some pretty big football bets last year. And he cashed on a couple of them.
Holzhauer, that was his name, Holzhauer, James. He's obviously a very intelligent young man. That's great. Good for the industry.
Yeah.
Anything else you got to cover? I imagine it's Wednesday. I don't think we have any horses right now. We probably have some tracks. You got Del Mar and Saratoga out there.
Yeah, this is a normal stake schedule for the weekend, nothing special. Next week is the Pacific Classic. That'll be the next big race, week from Saturday.
When do you leave for Del Mar?
Saturday.
Okay.
And the draw for the Pacific Classic is... I think it's Tuesday night.
Cool. I've been to several of those races. They're fun. Del Mar's I love that track where the surf meets the turf.
But the Los Angeles Times is no longer going to print race results. That's bad news.
Why would they make that decision?
They just don't think there's any interest.
Well, that's bull. I don't get that. Maybe it's a backlash to the horse issue with the horses dying. Maybe there's enough call for that from their readership, possibly. That doesn't make sense. There's definitely enough. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that.
I'm not going to print results or entries anymore.
Well, somebody else will. We'll get them out there.
Wait. Somebody else will in Los Angeles?
Well,
I didn't know there was another paper in Los Angeles anymore.
You know, the one thing about newspapers, they've almost become obsolete, and decisions like that will make them more obsolete. Podcasts, and internet sites, you can get. I can give you 20, 30 places where you can get results and entries for horse racing, and I'm not even in the horse racing business. But
people will have to go online to get it.
Yep, and that's why newspapers around the country have been going broke for years. So, the Los Angeles Times have their head, you know where. Anyway,
no, they're not going broke. I can assure you that.
Anything else you got, Hank?
Nope, that's about it for today.
All right, well, have a good day. Pick lots of winners. We'll talk again after the Thursday night games.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Make sure you go to JimFeist.com for all of Hank's plays and Jim's plays. And if anybody ever needs the horse results or entries, just write me an email. I'll tell you all the sites you can go get them.